Welcome to the Pop-Off Podcast B-Side. I'm Derek.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm RJ.
And I'm Philip.
Dez.
And what we're doing here is we're going to do a long-form podcast with no music and just have a conversation with our camera guy, our co-host, and on the band Gods, which you probably heard their podcast already, and kind of just dig in and see what happens here.
We're excited to be here, dude.
And Phil's got a podcast.
The Pursuit of Sound podcast. Y'all check it out. Sponsored by Zest Vodka. Yeah, dude.
Sponsored by Zest Vodka and sponsored by...
Oh, yeah. High Rise.
High Rise.
Yes.
So these are Charleston-based companies that we're speaking of. High Rise is part of the Charleston Hemp Collective. These are spiked seltzers in the sense of THC and CBD, no alcohol. And, yeah.
It's a great alternative for those of you that are trying to not drink alcohol but still mingle with people that are drinking alcohol.
Yeah, that is tasty, too. That was my first try of the spiked seltzer.
It's better than a Truly.
The mango's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's not, mango makes this man go.
The more
Come
I start
get one
drinking
out
it,
of-
the more the flavor builds on itself. I've just noticed that.
Creeps up on
Pretty
you.
good.
We're actually selling them at our show, so come get them while you can.
Yeah, along with chocolates, gummies, pre-rolls. We're your new D-boys.
This is our first time
God.
in Florida, guys. Thank you for having us. This is sick. You guys are very, very cool. The whole music thing is cool. Just recording everything.
Let's
when we first talked and we're putting a show together, we're playing here tonight, and know them through Seven Stones, some mutual friends.
Yeah.
But me and Phil really hit it off because we're both doing the podcast thing, and I think we really appreciated what one another was doing. So when we were able to work it out that they could come down, play a gig, and then also come down and shoot a podcast, we were super excited, and we get to try something new as well.
It's twice as nice. Yeah, and the fact that you had your door open to us, pretty much sight unseen, we just got to talk on the phone first, and there was faith that, you wouldn't kill us when we got here and that we wouldn't be whack.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. I'm like,
It puts the lotion on its skin.
put a girl on.
Dude. So we're equally as gracious, and we were more than happy to make the drive, the 7-ish hour drive. Ain't no thing to just come down here, make some new friends, and
actually on the way here was kind of a hilarious journey. You guys have a sex theater.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Dude,
what is this at? What are you
adult
talking about?
theaters.
Is this?
Adult theaters are not a thing in Charleston.
I think it's in Ocala, right?
Ocala,
Yeah, we're in
somewhere.
Ocala.
I think so. Yeah,
Probably by the
That's greasy.
villages.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dude, I mean, honestly, and it was packed. Okay, that's
Oh,
like
you stopped and went?
No, but we saw. Everybody was parked outside with their license plate facing the road, so everybody could see who's there.
I gotta check this out. Skirt!
That's usually
It's hopping.
Yeah, it's called Adult Theater, if you wanted to know.
Oh my God.
That's the part of the country too that has Jesus billboards, you must be saved because
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. Because of things like that.
because of the sex theaters out there.
Oh my God. I'm like, there's internet.
Yeah, you could
What?
just Pornhub.
You
Well,
guys have heard about the villages out there in Ocala?
What the
Brother,
Village Men?
it's a legendary retirement community.
Oh, no. Go
with
on.
the loofahs?
Yes.
Okay, wait. Now I don't know.
Oh, okay. So the rumor around the campfire is there's this community of people that live in this neighborhood called the Villages, and it's massive. I mean, it is beyond comprehension big. And they all drive around their golf carts, and they put different color loofahs up to share what their kink is.
Swinger. They're swinging. They're out there swinging.
Different
It's a
colored
vi-
shoes.
No,
but
it's loofah,
loofahs.
like shower
Okay,
loofahs.
a whole
So you'll
ass
drive
village?
around and you'll see someone with one or two, or just a whole gaggle of them, bro. They just got all the
Everyone.
color. It's I'm a slut, dude. Get it?
Head to toe. I'll stick anything in my mouth.
They got a healthy drug addiction as well. They all got good retirement doctors, and they get those prescriptions. And you're laughing, but it's very true. Because imagine you're old, right? Dude, if you're 80, you might as well get into the heroin. You might as well give it a shot. Apparently
I
it's
thought they were
pretty
doing
nice.
If the boner pills are still working for you, dude, and you're that old, you're getting it in anywhere you can.
Dude, they've got the blue
What do you
chew, the
care about
Cialis.
STD
Yeah,
at,
no
at
more morals
85?
Oh, they also have the largest amount of STDs as well.
See, yes, this is
We're
why
learning a lot
Florida
here.
is so
Yeah.
just Florida. Inexcusably.
You guys are your
it's
own thing.
What's the word? Unabashedly itself. Only in Florida would that be a thing.
Oh, they also have nudist resorts here too. over in Polk County.
Oh
right
my
in Pasco,
God.
bro. Caliente
Pasco,
up on
so,
54.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like nudist beaches and stuff.
No, like neighborhoods.
Na-
Like
oh, just
Neighborhood,
the hood?
seriously, dude.
They're just
Okay, that's
out there
news.
swinging. It's
so
nice
weird,
here.
man.
Hey,
Bro,
man.
yeah, there's one not but 25 minutes from here up on State Road 54 called Caliente.
No, we don't have winter
It-
time. The shrinkage is not the
Yeah,
same.
it's
deal.
surrounded by 12-foot fences on all sides.
Okay, I was
dude.
like, this has got to be a gated
Yeah,
community.
no, and it's like a mobile home park. Like it's like it's not like $1 million homes. It's just like little fucking mobile homes and manufactured homes, and it's just an old
Okay.
person's nudist colony. Like it's just there's nobody attractive in there.
That's like the
Shit.
knockoff brand of the other one you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like the Walmart version of it.
The old people really they give Florida its flavor. You know, they give it spice. A lot of people work their whole lives, come down here and bring their money. And I know, like, especially having this setup and getting into the music career, Matt does a lot of like buying and selling of music gear. But he's bought in so many people's like broken dreams and like and retirement projects that just they couldn't make it through. You know, so there's a lot of just boomers that you know, kind of pass on. They go on to the next realm and they leave a lot of sweet gear left over.
Dude, it's important, man. Y'all got the best of all the bunches, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
and y'all's-
electronic kit was very fun to play.
Yeah.
It was fun.
But he is right though. It is like buying somebody's like hopes and dreams that they have given up on. Like the mixer and the mics that we're using right now, like I picked up from some like old guy in Tampa, and he was like virtually giving it away. It was like so damn cheap it didn't even make sense. And
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
why are you getting rid of this stuff, man? He's like, well, you know, my brother and I started making music like 6 months ago when he got diagnosed with cancer, and he just died, so I don't need this anymore. And I was like, oh, damn, bro, like
that's
that
cuts
that
deep.
fucked me up, dude. I was like, I was not expecting that, and I'm like, well, me and my brother are gonna record some shit and do a podcast with it, so like we'll make sure to keep the dream alive for you. But yeah, it was heartbreaking, dude. I was like, God damn, that is terrible. And
That
yeah,
is
like
terrible.
I was talking to you, like I buy and sell drum equipment and like PA gear, whatever else. And yeah, it's just always like, yeah, I just like gave up on music, or like I got a family now, or you know, it's like always some like sad, terrible story. Very rarely is someone like, yeah, I got some new hot shit and I'm just getting rid of the old. No, it's always like,
Well,
Yeah.
and
No one is
they
doing
wait
that.
till retirement too. You know, they wait till they're like, oh, once I retire, I'll finally do my dream. And I think that's something that me and Matt kind of took to heart. Is like, if we wanted to be the old dudes, you know, playing music, you know, in the band in our old age, and you better start doing it now, you know, and not giving up. It's like it's a slow, you know, way up to the mountaintop, and it's just not stopping. And eventually, you know, you'll be out playing music. You'll have other musician friends. But if you wait till the end, then it's, you know, it's too late.
You might not even make it. To the,
Dude,
you know?
no, we're gonna be cool when we're like 70. Let's promise to still play like shows when we're like 70 and stuff.
We'll be
I am
jamming.
not carting around a drum set at 70, bro. Like, fuck
I
that.
thought
age.
No, by
It's
then
like,
the
"Come
technology
here,
will be
grandson,
so like
move this for
advanced.
me."
You won't even have to like move your drums.
I'll be out
You
there.
just like teleport
slapping
to
bass.
the stage or something.
Oh, have you seen those like air drum sets? Like they use the
Yeah.
sensors on like
yeah.
your feet.
Dude,
Oh, yeah, I just
no.
I just want that to get mastered so I can just
Yeah,
like
they
bring
need
out
to make
some
those more
sticks
responsive.
and like put a camera in front of me and just like do the motions and like play a set. That's what I'm
That's
looking
the future
forward
of
to
drummer. That's the
when
future
I'm-
of live drumming right there.
Yeah.
I have not seen this. Where is this in virtual reality? Like,
No, it's
It used to be like
it's
you would
old.
hold these sticks.
It's old tech, bro. It's been out for the longest time. It used to use like a PS3 camera, and it would use these like sticks with reflective heads on it, and then you'd put little reflectors on your shoes, and it would take your movements, and it would map out like a drum kit on your computer screen, and like where you'd move the stick, it'd like show you what you're about to hit, like a rack tom, a
How
floor
much did those
tom.
cost?
They were surprisingly cheap, like $500. Like,
not bad.
but they weren't great. Like, you couldn't
Yeah.
do like a real performance with it. But it was like conceptually, like, hey, this is
Dude,
like what we're
in
trying to do.
Well, by the
And
time we're
actually-
70 though, it'll be ready.
Yeah, dude, I'm ready for it in 10 more years.
Yeah.
with the way AI is going and everything, I mean, sheesh.
We're just gonna be doing brain music. We're all just gonna be like sitting here plugged in, just but like rocking out super
Everyone's
hard.
just, like,
Everybody's getting like a
live streaming
laser
it.
show at home.
Matrix style.
Yeah, we're all tuned into
my
the
God.
Matrix.
Well, it only makes sense. You play an electric bass, you play an electric guitar. We're still playing acoustic drums, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, let's.
We're getting there.
Yeah, it'd be nice, dude. I'm just looking for that easy setup. Like, if I could bring out just a sample pad, that'd be perfect. For me.
Especially at 71, dude.
Yeah, right.
Dude, but like Florida's got it going on way more than South Carolina. Like that's why we're so eager to be here, and like it makes sense. Y'all got
progressive, but you have your like history at the same time. It's cool.
The thing I noticed, I say this a lot. You know, I moved back to the Tampa area again, like 2018, 19, so like right before COVID hit. And, you know, when COVID went through, there was like an exodus of people that left, not just United States, but I feel like all around the world and came to Florida and other places that were like still open, you know, like Elon and podcasters there going to Texas. And I really encourage that because we got a lot of creative people, a lot of independent thinkers, and a lot of those people that did leave maybe that Hollywood, but were still in entertainment or come down from New York, but they do have like that culture and the arts, but we're also kind of like unified now. You know, it's like people that had the same thoughts came together. And what you're saying about Tampa too, and trying to come down, we wanted to bring you guys down. We love people coming to Florida. I love seeing, you know, our hometown grow and people come in here, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a music community. We're trying to, you know, give power to independent voices and podcasters, because I think that really is the future. I think all the, you know, overly produced music and the corporate stuff, you know, is going to start going away. I mean, people really like live music. It's just, you know, it's kind of, there's a barrier to it, you know, and doing things like this and doing what you guys do kind of helps, you know, make it more accessible just for fans and for artists.
We're happy to do it, man.
We got to stick together, in fact, for that very reason. And like, that's the thing where we're now starting to, you know, feel the same and be able to do the same and reciprocate that in our hometown as well, and do our damnedest, man, because Lord knows Charleston's music scene has some room for improvement. But, you know, it's like they're looking at us too and being like, hey, what are you doing? Like, the fact that we're able to go out to Florida and like Georgia and New Jersey and stuff, it almost like it comes back home and gives that much more momentum, and hopefully likewise and stuff. And, you know, we want to make friends and have y'all in Charleston and give y'all a place to stay and put y'all on stage with us. And, you know.
Yeah, and that is the super cool thing too, is bands that have come from other cities. You know, now we're all connected. We can all see what each other's doing, and we're able to, like, you know, network and meet other people. And like I said, we can stick together a lot easier. It's not like, oh, I went back to Charleston. I wonder how those dudes are doing. I'll send them a letter.
Well,
send a carrier pigeon.
Living in the 90s was a time, dude.
I mean, our podcast originally started out as like a local thing, like a Tampa Bay thing. And then as it grew, like people from Orlando wanted to come do it, and then from like other parts of Florida wanted to come on it. And then we had somebody come in from like Alabama, and then you guys from like South Carolina. So we got the Southeast. Like I'm waiting for Seattle, Washington to reach out and be like grunge revival.
Hear that?
Coming to the Thepopoff podcast.
Yo, Nirvana is from Seattle.
Oh yeah, Nirvana. Oh my gosh. But yeah, y'all got so many more cities in this state. I mean, like, think about it. Gainesville, Jacksonville, Ocala, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Orlando, Miami, like so many
a lot of cool
between,
bands
like,
come from Florida.
Like, I mean, come on.
But you know what too also is bands did reach out from us. And again, you know, I appreciate you guys being on, because it's a tall order nowadays to play original music, be comfortable on camera, then also want to like give an interview. You know, we've seen this several times. You have a large band where maybe the bassist or drummer like has no crowd interaction, you know, and suddenly they got a microphone in their hand. They're expected to, you know, talk on the spot and be videotaped. So really it is like and other bands have come on and said how hard it is to just play, even if you're not a full-time working artist, just to go out, get your friends together, go play a live show, get people to it. So, you know, it seems like there's a lot of other bands, but really it's not. You know, it's of all the musicians out there. I mean, I'm sure you see it the same way in Charleston. There's a lot of people that maybe play in their bedrooms, but like people you actually go and see out when you're playing, like other bands. You know.
Yeah.
It's tough to get people out to the shows, like even for us. Like,
I feel like there are those musicians on the internet that just stay in their rooms and like play the guitar to like a bunch of other songs, and they get the audience attention, but it's different. Like, could they get people to come to their show, like, if they had one?
The reward for playing a good live show, like being on stage with like a decent sized crowd that's like interacting with what you're playing and like having a genuine good time, is is crazy. There's no way. I don't care how many likes and thumbs ups and
Yeah.
It's not the
subscribers
same.
you're
Yeah,
getting.
straight
bro.
up.
Will
It
the
is
audience
not the
come
same.
to your
Bro,
show?
we did a show at the Brass Mug a couple days ago, last week actually, and there was just this hammered dude up in the front, dude.
God,
Was he was having the best time, dude. Like you would have thought he was a Make-A-Wish person, and like his wish was to come see us play. He was incredible.
He was
bro,
the
bringing the
hardcore
energy.
dude.
Yeah, watching people dance to your music, you know, like when you finally hit that thing where people start grooving with you, you're like, oh my god, I made them do that. It's
But
cool.
there is always that one like person, like what, like you remember when we played Chico Feo lately? There was
That
like
dude
this,
got up on stage.
Oh my god, there was like this one like old random guy, like he wasn't there with anybody, but he was like at Woodstock '69,
hammered.
like he was hammered. Like literally everybody's just sitting down regular and like taking slow sips of their drink, and he's just like,
Bro,
You love those guys. They're the
true
best.
story.
and you're like,
Don't forget about that one time we played at Tin Roof and that guy was getting on stage
Oh my
the
God.
whole time
this
with
old,
a tambourine, I
very
think.
enthusiastic old
That's
black
the
guy.
worst, dude. As a drummer, like you see
Yeah.
somebody show up with a tambourine, you're like, bro, I know your rhythm's ass.
Yeah, the coming
I
on
know
stage
You're
is
just gonna be fucking me up all night.
They literally had to like get him off this. Yeah.
It was like to the point where like
He
I
made a
can't tell a
scene.
guy to stop playing tambourine, to the point where he inched his way like more and more on stage and being like like really
now.
like really distracting.
Bro, because they know that like you guys are doing a pretty good job. But if I just got up there and tambourined a little bit, I'd put him over the
He
edge,
was
bro.
trying to be that
The record
guy.
exec in the back would see the genius.
Like these guys are pretty good, but you know what they need? What
Cowbell.
they really need,
Cowbell.
bro?
More cowbell, man.
Is
Yeah.
some fucking tambourine. They're missing the tambourine.
Tambourine man.
I would prefer more cowbell than the tambourine. Actually.
Dude, do y'all have any like priceless stories of like just something, like just a standout story from one of y'all's shows? Like, hey, like yeah, maybe like a drunk person like came and like ripped off like your wings that you wear or something.
Maybe all
Yeah,
of
that
them
did
are
happen.
pretty stand out. We make our shows stand out. That's kind of RJ's job, is every time making sure there's a crazy story.
I will say,
Do tell.
So we're a 2-piece band with 3 members. Like Derek and I are like he writes the songs and like does the bass. I play the drums and then like help with some of the recording stuff. But like when we do our live performances, he's the secret third member because he does visual interpretations for some of our songs. So like he comes out in character and like dances around.
Now
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it's
pretty
starting to
dope.
see,
So-
yo, what?
And
It's
all
not.
the
It's
costumes are
not.
made in-house,
Yeah,
too.
it's not for every song. It's only for some. And a lot of them relate to music videos that we've done in the past. They're characters from music videos.
Love it.
So Derek and I have this one song. She's Outside. It's one of our older tracks. It's like a basic groove. In like we're playing at Brass Mug in Tampa, and they got a stripper pole there. So like we start playing She's Outside, and then all of a sudden RJ comes out from behind stage in like
Yes.
cut off shorts and like his shirt tied up like a fucking bikini top.
Let's
And he
fucking
starts,
go.
he starts dancing and he gets on the stripper pole
Spin
and
around.
the crowd loses their fucking mind.
They
I
were
was just
paid,
like,
man.
yeah,
It's
I
that
was
shock
just like,
value.
yo,
Dollars
what
and
is
shit
going
too.
on?
They
Yeah.
were. I was like going around, and I'm like just going and like.
And Derek and I didn't
to
know he was
people and
doing
stuff,
this.
And they were like,
like
handing
usually,
me, like dollars and stuff.
Dude, please tell me your balls fell out.
yeah,
They
you,
were, like putting it right there.
yeah, usually we like talk about the
Nice
costumes
hairy
and there's a
gut.
plan.
It
Yeah.
wasn't like up here. It was like right here.
No, that's part of how we or I perform is like my one rule is like, man, just don't mess me up, because like I have to have the glasses on, and sometimes he's doing something and I hear the crowd cheering and I'm like, don't even look over there because you're gonna mess up. You know what I mean? Because I gotta keep the rhythm.
No, I messed him up so bad that first time because he almost like you could tell it, but he was for us we could tell it, and he didn't see me because I'm like coming out behind him and like
Yeah, he came from behind stage. I caught him like right out of the corner of my
Came from
eye.
behind.
And I was like, what the fuck is this ugly bitch doing on stage? And I was like, that's fucking RJ. Like, yeah, it was rough, dude. And then, yeah, he got on the stripper pole and the people just went ape shit, dude. I
They're
was
like,
Yeah,
You're
you know,
more
when people talk about our music, I don't know if it's good necessarily, but it is always fun.
Yeah.
Like you always have fun with
That's
our
what you should
show.
aim for.
And to going back to like making real fans is that same night, the other night, we met like 2 dudes that were like out in the parking lot and like, hey man, they really enjoyed our music and like they understood the lyrics. kind of like the show we were trying to present, and even just having like one person, you know, like get your original music, you know, means way more than like faceless thumb up or somebody, some drunk old boomer that loves your Beatles cover. Like,
I agree.
So that's really satisfying. You know, even getting like one fan is cool.
Yeah, it's very rewarding when you get that kind of like respect from the audience, really.
Or
It's
like selling your first piece of merch.
Like, hey, maybe
That's-
this can
That's such
maybe
a
this can
big
work
thing
out.
for every band. Like the first time somebody gave you money for like something
That
for
wasn't a
them
family
to
Couldn't believe,
promote
like, you
your
really want the
shit.
shirt?
Nobody
Yeah.
talks about that either. Yeah, that's a special moment.
Bro, selling your first piece of merch is nuts. Like it's just like, holy shit, you really like this, and you want to like
Or just
wear
getting
something
your
to.
first piece of merch in general. Like,
Nah, fuck that, because I got closets full of shit that's not selling. Yeah, that shit is not making me happy at all.
how much
Boxed
did
up
y'all
shirts.
buy though?
Money is what buys happiness.
Was it
I'm
like a-
trying to tell you.
Was it like a deal y'all had to buy that much, or like you
Well,
just buy a
we were
box?
trying to like sell it at the show, so we like wanted to have it available. Like if somebody came up, we wanted to have like not be like, oh, get it online, or like we'll drop ship it to you. You want to be like old school, like give me the $20 bill, you can take the shirt, like end of transaction.
Yeah, you generate more sales when you've got physical merchandise. We've realized.
They're on the spot while they're
And we're also discovering that people like to wear larges and extra larges more so than like smalls these days as well.
Yeah, obesity in America, bro. There's a lot of fat people. Look at me.
People wearing their shirts like Billie Eilish. I mean, look, I'm wearing an extra large right now.
I'm gonna be hitting your standard for that 3X, bro. I'm gonna be like, you got me covered, or I gotta
I mean,
go
shoot,
online.
we,
Yeah,
we,
we need
we need
that.
to order
We need
more.
that.
So yeah, we're literally
Seriously.
almost out.
All inclusive.
What's fun about music, going to the shows, is seeing the other band merch. So like, I make art, and I enjoy like visual art as much as I do music. And I always go up and I'm like, who made this sticker? Who designed this shirt? And sometimes it's like their friends or buddies, but a lot of the times it's like some band member or a group of the band members like decided on something.
yeah.
And it is like fun little, you know, little art walk, you know, and they got little curios, or they got, you know, band members
one dude's
making
girlfriend
earrings
makes
and
the
stuff.
earrings. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like when we're going out there, there's always somebody that always asks like, "Oh man, who did your stuff?" And they're thinking that we paid somebody to do this, or like for the cost. Some of the
Nobody's
costume
thinking
work.
that.
You'd be surprised. Like they're thinking that like the costume stuff and everything is like somebody made it for us. They are not thinking most of the time that we actually made
That
this
is our,
stuff.
yeah, this
You
is our
make it.
secret sauce. Everything that we do here, the podcast,
Everything's in house.
the mixing, the
music
videos.
Grown, bro.
Yeah,
That's
it
why
is.
we're able to, you know, help this out, do this free of cost to musicians, because like we're doing it for the passion, and that's the route we did. Rather than go get studio time, we just got our own equipment. But yeah, no, RJ is right though. The music videos that you saw, that's all us or our close friends videotaping.
Yeah.
Us doing the scripts, the backgrounds. We don't, you know, some of it is kind of kitschy and like but that's part of the charm, and that's part of our style, you know, as we progress too.
We're literally in the same boat. Like we just started doing music videos ourselves, like, and we had our homies just do it basically for free.
The
yeah.
technology now is crazy. Like you have, like if you have a decent phone, you have a high def video
Yeah.
camera, and like everyone's got a phone, so
Yeah.
you can shoot multiple angles. Recording's gotten so much more accessible with like digital recorders, and
you're
then like
decent at
mixing
editing,
stuff down. Yeah, like computers
yeah.
have gotten so much better. So like I remember when I was like a kid, if you wanted to go like record a demo album for your band, you had to like go to a studio and like fork up a bunch of money, and like you were on a time limit. Like now you see people like playing in their bedrooms off their iPhone recordings, and you're like, this doesn't sound bad. Like what's the
Not
fuck?
terrible, yeah.
Valid point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
some people get discovered from that. Who was that country singer like a year ago that was
Oh,
just
the
like,
Richmond from Richmond guy.
yeah, and like, dude, it was just a viral video of him singing to a camera phone. And
Yeah.
he's
Or,
millionaire now.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah. It's,
That's a dope ass song though.
all around. I think it's
I
kind of.
don't know it.
Yeah,
Bro,
but I mean,
you-
just as an example of like
know
that
the
dude with a
song.
camera phone,
Yeah,
we all at
yeah.
least were aware of this guy with his phone. And part of what we were doing too with our podcast is as we saw that, and especially in the early podcasts with other bands, is like with just a little bit of editing, you know, using the mixer, getting direct input, we're able to make something that bands can show other people to try and get new fans that has like a good sound quality. You know, like the music is mixed and then we dub the video on top of it. You know, we spend the time instead of like streaming it live, you know, we do some post edit. And, you know, just like I said, that little bit, it comes across so much better, and it helps connect to other fans. Like people that might want to know this music, you know, they got to hear it somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I commend y'all for doing it yourselves, and I encourage anybody else that wants to do it themselves, do it yourself too. It doesn't have to be over the top professional like to get it started. No, you just gotta bite the bullet in the beginning. So what if it's just you and your cell phone and that's what your podcast is? Or what if it's $1 million camera? Like at the end of the day, yeah, there's still an entry point for anybody.
Just be a god about it.
And you get better as you're doing it as well, because you're building experience, and the more you do it, they're looking at stuff. People can give you some feedback on it, so you can go, oh yeah, you're right. I kind of screwed up on that. Maybe we need to go and do this and do that. And it, like for back here, we covered the windows up because we had too much light coming in from outside, and it's a different. For those that don't understand about cameras and lighting, the inside lights are going to be completely different frequency for a wavelength of light than what's coming in from outside.
The sun is bright.
Yeah, and so you get
And
a lot
hot.
of lead in.
Bajillion lumens.
Sometimes I need
So we-
sunglasses for that sun.
You get once you start figuring everything out and seeing how it's affecting everything, and it ends up getting better as it's gone along.
Yeah, you gotta just start because you learn as you go, and then you also figure out like there's shit that you don't need that you thought you did. And then there's stuff that like becomes like glaring obvious. Like, bro, we need a fog machine. This shit don't work without no fog machine. I'm fucking
Yeah,
around.
just like-
obviously, but like,
Movement
It's just like
I'm with
constant
it.
idea,
Bro, like,
like
well-
after another.
yeah, when we started
Adding
this, it
on.
was like one camera, a different drum set, no lights. Like, it was, like, literally just the overhead light. Like, you see some of our earlier episodes, dude, everything's, like, yellowish or orange. Like, we were, like, using lower quality cameras.
And,
like,
we're not doing color adjustments on the cameras at that point either, so it was just like whatever it was.
Didn't
that's
always
how it
have
was.
the fatty
I
drum
dig it.
set either.
Yeah, and, like, as we went on, we, like, invested a little bit more and, like, made little changes and, like, learned different things. How to set up the lights, how to get better with the mixer, like, how to add effects. It was really...
And if you're thinking
And I love
about
that.
getting
That's the
into like
development of
music and
shit.
podcasting, you know, seriously, let me tell you, there's no money in it. We make no money at all. We just do this for fun.
It's a fucking great money
gotta
pit, though.
start
If you want to give up a considerable amount of square footage in your personal home, if you want to invest thousands of dollars, you do not
And
make
your free
one
time.
Like an
fucking
antique
penny.
car.
This is the shit.
But let me
Like-
tell you what, though, too. With that
Starting a
being
band
said,
is like literally hard enough. Like
Yeah.
Jesus.
Let alone a podcast.
don't be discouraged, though, because when there were other people that were doing similar things to what me and Matt were doing, or you have your own podcast, and I would never be like, oh, man, I hope these people that are doing a similar podcast, it doesn't, like, go good, you know? Like, I would rather be in a place where everybody's doing podcasts, you know, or, like, you've got your music thing, you know? So if you're, you know, feel discouraged, I would say just still go out there and do it, start making friends. Like, we connected just pretty much via the internet, via, like, mutual friends and stuff.
If I've learned anything in my podcasting, it would be if you want to be successful and monetized, don't talk about music. Talk about like aliens and conspiracies.
That's true. We need to.
So that
down to
brings
talk
me to
about
my
that.
next subject of
Yes.
aliens and conspiracies.
Okay.
Do
I'm
you
so
think
here for
there
it.
are reptilian aliens running our government?
There's a good possibility.
Fuck yes.
It could happen. I mean,
Absolutely.
I think it's hyenas.
it could be hyenas.
I feel like, you know, the dinosaurs were around for so long, and humans are around relatively short, and we got so far. It's not beyond my imagination to think that there were certain reptiles that evolved to be like highly intelligent, you know, and maybe did go
Shapeshifters.
underground.
Maybe
or,
that's what it is.
or
for
even
Gobekli
just made
Tepe and stuff like
spaceships.
that. Maybe they were lizard people.
Like shape-shifting lizard. I mean, if now that you put it
Camouflaging
biologically
lizard
like that,
people.
where it's like, hey, it's actually like a biological process that they can like camouflage and make themselves look like something else. Like maybe it's not so bionic, because there really could be a possibility. I've seen some weird stuff on videos where it's like, oh look, you can see that it looks like they're halfway phase between like a shapeshifter and like a human being in this like newscasting thingy.
You
or
also
whatever,
listen to
but-
a lot of podcasts.
Well, and
about
you
this
Yeah,
shit
it's
too.
easy to believe anything at that rate.
But you
so.
see that like Discovery Channel shit where they'll have like a stuffed ape with a fucking camera in it, and the other apes are like dumb. They're like, oh yeah, no, that's just Stuffy. He's kind of still. Or like, and that works on. So when I extrapolate that up, you're telling me that like the aliens don't have some type of like robot that looks like Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger that's watching around just like monitoring us.
You know what I'm really most impressed with is how good Bigfoot has got at hiding since we got better cameras.
So many sightings.
Yeah.
Well, there's still a lot of sightings.
so
Maybe
many
an extra
sightings.
dimensional being is what people are saying. Is
I
they-
think Bigfoot's just blurry.
But he is kind of blurry.
He may be furry.
He lives in an 8
Yeah.
pixelated dimension, an 8-bit dimension.
Did you
We
see that
heard
the
he-
apes have entered the Stone Age now?
Huh?
They're making spears and
Bro.
stuff and like going
Oh,
spearfishing
wait, what?
for fish and everything.
And some have been like using tools to get into
What
fruit and.
Okay, but
Yeah.
making spears?
Making spears and throwing it
Oh,
in
this is
and catching
how
fish.
crazy.
intelligent, how advanced have they become? They've escaped.
They
we have
learn
43
from watching
monkeys.
us.
I heard about the monkeys
Yeah, we
that
have
escaped
43
from the
monkeys.
lab.
Yeah.
It's
Are
crazy.
these the monkeys
bro.
using tools? Have we started real life Planet of the
What was
Apes?
that? Was that
I
South
was gonna
Carolina or
say,
North
yeah,
Carolina?
they've
South
escaped.
Carolina.
Oh my god! I saw that there was like, what was it, 45 of them
43.
gone?
Something like
Yeah.
that, dude.
Holy crap!
What are they gonna do?
Oh, and they were from a
Good
research lab.
Dude,
Oh
think
my
about
God.
that.
Do they
Like,
make it
I'm
through the
so
winter?
much more in favor of Planet of the Apes
I'm-
over
Yeah,
Outbreak.
that's what I was about
I
to
don't want
say,
that
man.
Outbreak shit. If they're those little cute monkeys, nah, bro, that's a bad time.
They're the ones that will rip your face off and scalp you. I think.
I'm not sure.
There's monkeys in Florida. Some that were like released. I don't know all the stories,
Like
but
zoo
there's
monkeys or just
like
lab
monkeys that
monkeys?
are like there's an island somewhere where all the
Oh,
monkeys
yeah.
got like herpes and they're like contained to this
no,
island.
AIDS and like different
Yeah.
STDs and stuff.
Yeah,
are
and then
out
there's
there.
like there's a river somewhere where you can like paddle down this river in Florida and there's like monkeys in the trees and shit.
Have you seen them?
I've seen the monkeys in the river. Like, when I was a kid, I know that exists. But that's the problem down here in Florida. Like everything you let go outside just grows. And
We're the Australia
off.
of America.
Yeah. I think there's supposed to be Bigfoots out here and some other cryptids, right?
The skunk
I feel like
apes.
they're more
Skunk
known
apes,
to
yeah.
be in the mountainous regions.
Yeah.
You don't really hear of like swamp thing Bigfoot. Like it's just
Hmm.
it's
What
not,
we really have though is the underwater base in the Bermuda Triangle
Bermuda
for the
Triangle.
secret space program, and there's a lot of like stuff that goes on at Cape Canaveral too, with launching of rockets and such.
Okay, yeah.
It's like
Cape
extra
Canaveral.
dimensional time warps, where it's partially like that's where it is in the future, and they're sending people into the past, to kind
Oh,
of
like
influence.
Montauk
They've made a
Project almost.
Stargate.
Yeah, and that's also why it's like there's all the disappearances and stuff because they're getting intercepted in our
That
quantum
makes-
field generating.
I don't think it's
Perfect
time
sense.
travel. I think it's alternate realities. They're getting sent to alternate realities.
No
Different, like,
more
different
multiverse. I'm
dimensions.
sick of multiverse.
Brings me to Mandela effect. What do y'all think about it?
Rick and Morty.
Bro, Bernstein Bears. Fuck that Bernstein shit. I'm sorry, it's Bernstein Bears.
Bernstein Bears, yep, that's right.
Yeah,
Tostinos, not
That-
Totinos.
that's it.
I think we're all just tripping.
Monopoly Man had a
Literally.
monocle.
He
There
definitely
was
had
a
a monocle.
cornucopia with the
Fruit of the
Fruit of
Loom.
the Loom. Yeah, I'm all on all of it except for the Sinbad movie. I don't believe
I'm
the
gonna go.
Sinbad
With,
movie.
it's the hydro colliders,
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, and like every time they're doing that, it's just like fucking with the space time continuum. Or
Dude.
some
They're
shit.
just doing it. That all it is just advertising. They're like, if we build this collider, we can alter time and then focus everyone's attention on Fruit of the Loom for this ad campaign.
I feel like the corporations are fucking with this, dude. Like the cornucopia was there, they took it away, and they're like, "Was there ever one?" And then everyone's talking about Fruit of the Loom,
Yeah.
and Haynes is like, "Damn, we fucked up with this goofy red square."
So this is my side conspiracy to it is that it's actually it was the way it was. All right, but then they're introducing this Mandela effect to see if they can get away with rewriting history in front of our faces and telling us, no, it really was the other way, even though they know
I think
good.
you might have a
Oh
point.
yeah,
there,
you're talking
yeah.
about? Are you talking about COVID?
Well, that too.
Because they said a lot of things were a certain way, and it turned out to not be like that.
I mean, basically, yeah, it's like the same concept, but you see what I'm saying? And I don't know about CERN because CERN, the Hydrogen Collider, like there's this weird video on YouTube where it's like we're having a good
portals to
time.
hell.
It's like their promotional video. It's like Happy at CERN. That's what you type in on YouTube, and it's like Pharrell Williams' Happy song playing behind, and it's like all these people dancing, and they look really awkward and geeky. But then it goes to this one room, and it's like this old guy with like a big white beard, and he's like sitting at a desk by himself, and there's like loads of paper all around him,
The
and then he has
mainframe.
a sign around his neck that says Mandela, and then like James Bond #1, which was like Nelson or something like that, and it's like just him, and he's like. And then it just clips, and it's like the most random, like
Whoa.
like you can see it to this day. It's on there, and it's like, what?
You never
Yeah.
told me about this.
Dude, it has like zero context to the rest of the video, except for the fact that it's like Nelson Mandela, and that is putting a tie between CERN having something to do with that, and then them putting it right in our face, and it's just like there for like 1.5 seconds, and then you're like, that was weird.
I like some of the explanations they've tried to give over the years too, like the monocle on the Monopoly guy. They're
He had
like,
one of those.
nah, Mr. Peanut had a
Mr.
monocle, and because they
Oh.
both wore a top hat, that's where you come with that face. Dude, I know the
Wait,
difference between
I
an old
swear.
white guy with all the money and a fucking
Did
peanut,
Mr.
dude.
Peanut
Get
have a
out of here
monocle?
with that. Like,
I don't remember
you know,
him
I'm
having
sorry,
one.
I'm not
Did he
buying
have a
it.
monocle? Mr. Peanut?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless we are now creating a new Mandela effect live on the show.
Yeah, they both
Remember
had
when
monocles.
they killed Mr. Peanut and then brought him back?
I didn't know
No?
they killed him.
This was not even that long ago. This was like 5 years ago.
Kind of ad
Like,
campaign.
they had a big
Why?
ad campaign that like Mr. Peanut died, and then there was like a baby nut, and then Mr. Peanut was back because the baby nut
He
did not.
busted a nut.
Yeah, but it did not test well in marketing at all.
Wow, they were really trying to reinvent themselves. They were
Oh
trying.
my god.
They were trying.
Do nuts really need help?
No.
The people with nut allergies need help,
I mean,
though.
I think that's dealing with a lot of like self-infliction to an extent. I think that we were over-vaxxing. Like,
Well, no, it's
to an extent.
it's because
say.
everybody lives now. Like back in the day, only the strongest and fittest would survive. Like the mortality rate was crazy back when, and now
People
with
were
like modern
dying at, like,
medicine,
in
like
their
you could
30s.
have every fucked up allergy and disease and everything else, dude, and just it's fine. Like we've got a solution for it. You'll survive. So that's why you're seeing more and more of it.
That makes sense.
Because like the
Makes sense.
species is like making way for it.
Wow, that's a valid point. I got a question for y'all. What would be y'all's, okay, if y'all could be on a dream lineup, like, hey, like, we're going to be playing with, like, Creed, and...
Like, you just finished that for us
Nickelback.
there, buddy. Damn, like, how did you read our mind?
minus
My
Creed.
mind.
Minus Creed.
What, y'all
What
play
would
with
it be?
Nickelback, though?
Hell yeah, bro. Chad
yeah,
Kroger,
dude.
that
Yeah.
fucking 7-string.
Who?
Chad Kroger, bro. You know, obviously you're not, musically.
You don't know
I
about
That's
don't
it.
know
Nickelback,
everybody.
man. That's
Nickelback's
fucking
the guitar
Nickelback,
player
bro. I'll have the
plays a
quesadilla. Ha
seven-string.
ha.
I say
Honestly, you know what?
Apocalyptica.
I fucking
For real.
ironically liked Nickelback,
Apocalyptica,
and would
man,
like
I like
laugh
that.
in the memes,
I
and
knew
then
a few
like
songs.
years later, I was like, I'll fuck with it. You know,
Yeah.
there's
I
some
definitely
shit,
know a
bro.
few
Like if I'm
songs.
drunk and I got some like sequin affliction pants on, and
It's rock.
a tap out
You
shirt,
have to be drunk.
grinding on the milfs at the bar, bro. Fucking,
Leading me to my
we
first...
all want to be rock stars.
But dream lineup would it'd have to start with Cake and Primus.
Ooh.
Because those are the
Yes.
bands that like everyone
Yes.
says we sound like.
What?
They're like, have you heard of Cake and have you heard of Primus? It's just like,
Yep.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
they're kind of what we're going.
I don't
for.
mind it. No, that's just how it
Fuck
turns
yeah.
out.
I say Cake, Primus, Tool, Apocalyptica, and
I really like Tool and Primus's stage presence too. I think that's an influence on us. Another big influence, obviously, Rush, singing bass player. But Rush
Rush
also is
rules.
like pushing shopping carts and washing machines on stage and rotisserie chickens. and-
What?
oh yeah, they got
They
like
go
a wild
wild, man.
stage show,
Rotisserie chicken, though.
just like going on in the background. And then they'll be jamming, and like somebody comes up with like a shopping cart and rubber chickens. Like
a
like
Rush
a
show?
hallucination, like it's just going on, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Whoa.
There's some guy, I can't remember his name, but his whole thing is he makes a pot of jambalaya while he performs. Like while he does his show, he's a solo performer, and while he like plays the guitar and sings, he makes a giant pot of jambalaya, and then at the end, everybody
He
eats
gets
the
it.
jambalaya.
He's just serving
bro.
dinner,
That'd
bro.
probably be like Jelly Roll. Just
Jelly Roll's
kidding.
pretty good though.
Just kidding. But yeah, no, I know hate.
All right, what about for the gods? Who are you guys playing with? What's your dream lineup?
Yes.
Shit, dude. There's this band called Chan, but they're no longer a band. It sucks, but that would be a dream. They're awesome.
And who else?
Fucking Toe. They're Japanese. I love them.
I know them.
Yeah.
They're dope.
They're fucking sick, dude. That's what they got me
them
into
and
like
Maximum the Hormone. That they're good too.
I've never heard of them.
They're the ones that do the "Wake Up People" type sound for Death Note.
Oh, dude, I forgot you were in Japan, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
That's-
Well,
okay, so you know
those two were in Japan.
That's right. That's sick, dude. We gotta touch base on that. What was the anime like in Japan? I know you.
No subtitles, so learn Japanese.
And you know what?
Yeah, dude.
People have a view of Japan from anime, and they think
Yeah,
that
I
all
feel
of
like a
Japan
lot of
is just
people-
like happy Asia.
I feel like a lot of people in
bing, bing,
Japan
bing.
don't watch anime though.
But it's the exact same with like a little bit more anime people. But it's like the exact same as here in America. There's like otaku weebs.
And they hate tourists.
Well, and they're just the same way. And then but there's people that are into sports. There's people into like metalcore music. There's people that are into. It's the exact same. They're just Japanese.
What's
and
the weed situation there?
the yakuza and the
the weed
kind of like,
like
controls
weed.
all the crime and vice.
Well, so
they've got like
there's
illegal
easier
shit.
drugs to get. Like weed is hard to get in Japan.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
been, but that's just
but
what I
they've got all that
understand.
chemical synthetic stuff, because they're close to China.
yeah.
But really, what they're into is like drinking. Huge drinking culture.
I'll fuck with some sake.
They're very fun to hang out with, and
Oh, yeah.
like they'll
You'll have
get
a
you
great
drunk.
What is it,
Like-
like karaoke and sake?
Speaking
Yep,
of weed,
karaoke's
though, we
huge.
should spark that bad boy up if y'all want.
Oh yeah, dude, we're running out of time. We should sample the goods, dude.
Is it
Matt,
time
you want to do
get-
the honors?
No, kill that fan. You're the center of the show, man. Start it up.
I just wanted to finish my Tokyo stories real
Yeah,
quick.
please.
'cause
Yes,
Oh,
let's
okay.
go.
So kill the
There's,
fan and I'll
there's a
start
lot of like shared space. So like when we would go hang out, we wouldn't go to somebody's like house and listen to music. You go to the karaoke and you rent a room and then you got your private thing. Gaming was sick. I would literally pick street fights in Tokyo. I get drunk, pick a street fight with some random Nihojin. But it's like going into the arcade and playing Tekken, and it's like you just sit across. And I've had a few like good games of Tekken where like we come out and shake hands, and we're like,
We gotta
"Oh,
play.
okay."
I gotta play.
Yeah, like you don't go to your buddy's house to play PlayStation there. You go to the arcade and you got like your
Arcades don't exist
Tokens.
like that here.
Dude,
It's
Derek
there's
has
too much
been
open space.
Derek has been a gamer his whole life. He's my brother. We grew up together.
Game.
And I remember
Fuck yeah,
like
dude.
when Derek got back from the Air Force, he came back and like he was staying with the folks for a little bit, and at the time I was staying with the folks like trying to work some shit out. And I remember like I would get home like late at night after like working or like going to school or something else, and like he'd be sitting at the kitchen table downstairs like getting it in, just like glow of the laptop.
Diablo 3 had
in
just
his
come
face,
out.
bro. I would
Hey, level
sleep
up.
for 8 hours. I would wake up to go to work or school or wherever I was going, and he'd still be in the same spot, bro. Still with that
Yeah.
same glow on his face,
Slaying
bro.
demons.
That
Just
was me.
Getting it, bro. Just getting after
Take a
it.
break every once in a while for cigarettes.
Yeah, that's dedication, my dude.
Had to
That
give
was
those
me
up.
playing World of Warcraft, like with my friend Andrew.
I played
back
that
in the
WoW.
day.
Had the guild.
Bro.
Yo.
Yes, bro.
Undead
Yeah.
priest.
I still
that's
have
a good name.
an account.
What was your main?
I am a night elf rogue. And
Night Elf Road.
yeah,
That's
dude,
hot.
Yeah,
That's hot. That's sexy playing right there.
yeah, dude. I like the stealthness and the sneaking around.
Freaking one hit, cut their throat.
Dude, poisoning people was my shit. I would just run up on people waiting to enter a fucking like raid or dungeon, like waiting for their homies and shit, and I would just fuck with them.
Just gank 'em.
Yeah,
And then
dude, and just disappear. Yeah, dude, I love doing that
Yeah.
shit.
I had that with the Night Elf too. Like you could like disappear, and I had like as a priest sometime I
had
would
all
play.
them
And
looking for me too. It was so funny.
it was great about WoW. Like back in the day, is like you could just like over level and just go to some noob and just crush down their little town. They gotta like call in their guild mates, and
Vanilla WoW was
you
the
could
shit.
take over cities and stuff. Those are good times.
That's
That was a
savage.
golden age there.
WoW heads. Let's go.
Massively multiplayer online role playing games.
Yeah, that's way too savage. You would get arrested in real life.
Bro. Well, the women love it, man.
Ooh.
So tell me about what we're burning right here, bro. This flower gardens. Oh, we
Yeah.
got the butterberry
Yeah, so
today.
it's
Fill me in. That's
it's
a
an
nice
indoor
roll.
farm in Tennessee, and we get it. We're partnered with them too, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, hooking us up.
What's the what's the flavor on it?
Butterberry.
We got
Butterberry.
butterberry today.
Yeah.
Butterberry. What does it say? It is like hybrid sativa indica. Does it have that?
It's
on
a sativa.
it? Sativa.
It says it's lab tested, 21 plus.
Yeah, everything has a QR code on it, so you can definitely like look up what you're smoking. It's pretty sick, but
Yep.
it's just weed.
That's what's it's just weeds, bro. It's crazy to me how fancy weeds gotten, dude. Like,
yeah.
there's some
For
different
real.
types.
there's someone that's like been in the scene for 20 years.
You
That's
like
what-
walk into the store, and be like, you want a menu? Like what?
Dude, it's different, man.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
it
awkward.
Really is.
For,
I
like coming
I
out from it
remember
being
when,
like so sketched, like getting weed, and now it's here. It's like they have the menu and everything, and they talk, and like
There's like a cop inside, but like not for that reason.
You're like worried about it. He's like, nah, bro, I'm here to keep you safe. It's like, this is different.
believe you.
dude. Yeah. I remember when vape
dude,
pens
it's
first came
crazy.
out, dude, like 12, 15 years ago, like when they first started hitting the scene. And I remember like getting my hands on like some of the first vape carts that were around, and like going places and like hitting them like they were just like a regular like nicotine vape, and like nobody knew what it was, dude. Like you were able to like burn and plug, and now everybody's got them, dude. Like I feel like people don't really smoke weed in Florida that often anymore. Like everyone's on that vape life.
Part of the
I heard you guys
illegality
voted
was-
to make it legal, and you'd have to be like it has to be
We
65%.
failed on that
No,
shit,
it
bro.
is,
It
dude.
needed
The majority of
60%.
you-
It was
the majority
corporate
voted.
sponsorship. They weren't going to let us grow it. And we already have like medical shit anyway. I mean, there's weed shops all over.
I'd just rather be able
Y'all
to
are
grow it.
legal?
They've got medical
medical.
marijuana here. So there is places that sell real weed here all over.
Like
you just have to.
actual dispensaries, but you have to have the card.
Card.
You
Yeah.
have to have that, yeah. You have
Okay,
to have
that's
medical
cooler
card.
than.
Is it hard to get the card though?
No.
You
No,
literally.
not really.
If you have money, it's easy.
Yeah.
What you just
you have
go in
back
and
pain
say-
or
It's not exactly
anxiety.
cheap though for the cards and everything. So it's literally if you got the money, it's kind of like okay, well you can go.
I
buy
mean,
weed,
and
but
what
it's pretty
happened, too, in
expensive, and
other
you have to
places,
renew it
like-
and stuff.
California and Colorado is like there's still a black market for it. You know, because here's the thing is like people that do get it or have it, there's just it's like you guys have your own. Like I remember back in the day, if you're at a show, it's like, oh, you guys got weed, cool. And, all right, puff, pass me. It's my turn. But now it's like, hey, man, you want hits? It's like, nah, I got my own. It's like,
Everyone's got
and
their
that
own
was the
shit.
fun too. Is like now it's like almost. It's like way more dirty. It's like, oh, there it is in the strip mall with like all the other like shitty, you know, the porn shop and the fucking pawn shop. Where like back in the day, it was like committing a crime, like big time. You'd have like a lookout. You'd have to go someplace. You'd have like
Sit in a fucking parking
your
lot.
bullet
all
in this
sketchy,
paper
bro.
tower tube. You know,
We
my
had to
God.
go
Eye
to like the
drops
back
and
of my
cologne.
neighborhood to like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I've got a good story that has to do something like kind of like that, and then I'm interested if y'all have any good like black market stories or whatever. So basically, me and my buddy went to Costa Rica for a surfing trip, and we were like, yeah, let's get some mushrooms, and then we were like basically found like the guy that would look like the long ass dreads and stuff, and we were like, hey, what about? And he's like, yeah, of course. Come back tomorrow at this time at this place, and I got you. And we're like, all right. And then so he like it wasn't him, it was like some girl, and like she had like this brown bag, and like she I guess knew what we looked like, and then so she like came up to us. We gave him like the Costa Rican money. Looked inside, there was like mushrooms. They were like kind of wet though, and I was like, we didn't really know what was going on, so it's like whatever. We still ate them. Oh my god, this makes me sick to my stomach, dude. I think these are
You
just
get
random mushroom, like random mushrooms. Dude, I ate those and dude, food poisoning times 1,000. My buddy, he
That's
threw
bad
up.
news.
He was able to throw him up. I couldn't throw him up. Like I was trying, dude. I was like, dude, I felt like my muscles were atrophying. I was like, this is it. Like this is it. I'm so stupid.
Fuck that rainforest
Costa
mushrooms,
Rica.
bro. Yeah.
Ruined, bro.
Yeah, how about y'all though?
I scored some hash in Luxor, Egypt. I was like walking off the Nile River on a boat. And I don't know why this guy picked me out of the crowd. Like, I guess I look a certain way. But he was like, hey, buddy, you want some hash? And I was like, what? No. And then I was like, wait, yes. and then I had like 20, like, American on me. And he like took a bite off this like brick and like gave it to me.
What?
And then like walked off. And then this other kid was coming up to me. He's like trying to sell me shit. You're like, mister,
Saw
fucking
that
take the
happen?
flyer. Well, yeah, he saw, oh, white guy's got money. All right. But then the guy came back up and he's like, here, I'll sell you the rest. Like, he's like, how much you got? I was like, I'll give you another 20. He's trying to haggle. And I was like, that's kind of all I got. But yeah, so I had this like hash over in Egypt, and it's actually not that big a deal. There was like the tour guides and stuff was sharing what he had with the people, but it actually worked out pretty good. And I had to be like inventive and try and like roll it up with tobacco because it didn't have any smoke. It was just like a hash press,
Just like
Damn. Yeah, just
and then
raw.
Which also, that's something you don't see anymore, bro. Hash was like a big thing back then.
Yeah, it was
Now
something.
everyone has like their oils and everything else.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
if
I had
like,
thought
live
about
resin.
trying to bring it back, but then I got freaked out. Obviously, didn't want to get busted at customs and be in like Cairo jail.
Oh,
But when then I got home and I, like the oils and the stuff like you're talking about were more potent. It was just cool to have. I met with like some other tourists over there that was like,
I
oh
actually
shit.
want some hash now, dude. Making me crave it.
It tasted good, and that is I do miss that. They got all this other stuff. I was surprised they don't have hash.
the wildest story I got for that stuff is high school. There was a cow pasture that was across the street from the church I went to. And so me and my buddy would go riding bikes and stuff, and we lived pretty close, so we would just go in the middle of the night at like midnight, go picking for mushrooms with flashlights and stuff. We can go back to his place. We made like spore prints and shit. Try to grow some of them.
I feel like that's huge down the south. Like, there's a lot of cow patties and opens. It's like as a kid, everybody kind of has an experience like that.
Dude, I mean, I think about it. I'm like, you're like plucking that directly off cow shit, and then you're like,
we're
just
washing
making sure
them
there's
and
no
stuff,
shit on it. Like,
yeah,
how does
they were washing them, and then but we were using them to get spore prints, so we can use the spore prints to grow.
I don't know anybody that washed
I see
them,
what
bro.
you're saying.
Everybody just dried them out, shook them off, and fucking ate them or made
heard it makes
tea.
you
We
harder that way.
were able to grow some of them, so I mean it worked.
And cows
But it didn't
are
grow
like
that many.
vegetarians, so their shit's not like human shit or dog shit.
You're not keeping the roots, bro. You're cutting the base off. You know, the shit's growing out of it. Like the mushrooms, you're not like picking apart the cow pad.
Yeah,
I've never seen it in real life.
That's how they say that we got so smart with the stoned ape theory.
Yeah,
It's like the
totally.
apes were
Yeah.
foraging, and they would go
Yeah.
after the droppings of animals because they knew there was some nutrients there on some level, and
I think that might have a little
chipped
bit
on out.
because they
I think aliens fucked our ancestors, bro.
that too.
Hell
That
yeah.
too, yeah.
Well,
I'm
maybe
with
that's
that.
what the
I'm with that all
watchers
day.
were.
Or future us's, like we might like turn into
that we
aliens
time
down the
travel.
line.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
with the
that could work.
Mayans, the Sumerians, all that shit.
Like
is,
AI, the way AI is
crazy.
going, and like now, imagine you just transfer your consciousness into like this little gray alien, and you're in the future, and you can just
Singularity.
who knows? Like,
I can't believe we've made all these Terminator style movies and we're like still pushing the AI, and then the AI can like get that source material. It's like, bro, the humans want this.
They got the
They've
blueprint.
written about it so many times. Bro.
feeding
They
it,
wish
feeding
for
it to him,
happen.
feeding it.
Now imagine if an AI went and watched it itself real quick or whatever, and then it looked at it and it was like, "Hey, I can do that. I'm going to." It's like, oh,
Humans
shit,
are really
we
good at
fucked
doing like the
ourselves.
cautionary tale, like the 1984, but then like using that as the playbook. You know what I mean? It's like the Jokers who we end up emulating, and you know, it's the dystopian stuff.
like the right,
that we end
the
up
right
going
speak or
towards.
whatever from
You want-
1948.
good.
Yeah, kind of like the political correctness type stuff or the woke type stuff, and also it's like it feels as if they're trying to emulate that.
Bro, I'm ready with all the video games I've played. Like I said, me and my
Dude,
homies,
this
we're
meta
gonna be
thing,
like
too.
running siege on the gas station while somebody's distracting the robot, the kill robot, and we're gonna be like scrounging for cans of beans. And
They're training us
ammunition.
already.
dude.
They're-
Yeah,
I'm on
it's
your team.
It'd be
happening.
way more exciting than.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy.
Have you
Paying
seen
tax.
Has anyone been into like the meta like headsets, like the VR shits, basically?
Oh, dude,
No, but it
that's
looks
gonna.
cool.
I think that shit's gonna get really weird. 'Cause
There's a new Batman game, and they're like, "You're Batman." And they're like, dude, it's crazy. Like you're actually like in that shit. It's blowing my mind.
that
Yeah.
sounds gnarly.
Yeah, it's a new way of gaming, that's for sure.
And like the VR mask looks like the Batman mask. That'd be sick.
I'll tell you what's gonna be crazy, bro, is when we're fucking robots. You know that shit's a couple years
What are you
away.
Android.
talking
Androids,
about,
bro.
bro? I think every
I wanna
woman
live
has a
forever.
battery-powered robot in their nightstand
Bro,
somewhere. So
I'm talking when like people just aren't fucking other humans, bro. When everyone's, it's just
Yeah.
easier to fuck the robot.
Yeah.
Like that shit's
Oh
gonna
my
be
God.
fucking crazy, bro. Like that's how they defeat us, bro. They don't even have to take us to war. They don't need to make a
wipe out
single
all
kill
most of
machine, bro.
humanity, man.
Yeah, they make a couple of good fuck robots, dude. It's a wrap.
They're actively working on it.
Yeah.
You know that. Like,
Yeah.
I was at a
no, but honestly,
of robots.
honestly, if
Every
we're
dude that can't get laid instead of buying
But-
a vet will just buy
fuck a robot.
no way, dude.
yeah.
You tell me we're gonna go
You'll
through
love
all
it.
this effort to make new technology and build rockets and shit, and I can't have sex with it. That is not a future I want to be a part of.
Can we fuck it? I was at a Japanese restaurant the other day, and speaking of like robots and shit,
Why
they're
does it
like
gotta
now.
be Japanese?
I don't know, but dude, but they're like now bringing out the food, like these robot things, like just wheeling
Oh,
out
yeah.
the fucking food. I
Oh,
was
bro, they got
blown
them at the
away.
bowling alleys and shit. They're like these little fucking circular things that just like wheel out trays and like
Yeah.
wheel it up to you, and then it's got like a little screen
got
with
a
like a
face.
fucking face.
Yeah,
and shit.
it's like,
yeah.
bro,
Thank you. Like,
I have
what
not seen
the
that.
hell?
Seen
What,
it.
It's just
And
walking.
then it'll pull up a tip screen of how much you want to tip.
Yes, dude. I'm like blown the fuck away. I'm like, where's the waiter?
Dude, what? It's just
Yeah,
it's just
dude.
rolling right where like people would be walking.
It's
Oh, and it's crazy because like people will fuck with it and like stand right in front of it and you'll see it like junk move around.
that's
People
what I'm
will
saying.
fuck
Yeah.
wild.
What?
Yeah, bro, they're pretty cool.
Yeah,
like,
that was my
pretty
first
cool.
time
But
experiencing
like, we're
that.
all about to not have a job, dude. Like, it's just unemployment and then like sex robots, dude. 10 years from now, that's all we got.
We gotta
dude.
keep these people happy enough to where they don't know what's going on around them. Here's these sex robots.
Oh no, yeah,
Terrified.
and the OnlyFans girls too. Like, there's some stuff out now where it's like there's just AI generated images and AI chat bots, and
You're
they
just
know
chatting with
exactly
AI.
what people want to hear, and they're putting these poor hardworking women out there. They're gonna be losing their jobs too.
Damn. It makes me sad, man. Yeah, AI's just gotten out of control, kind of like too much too soon. Call me
There's
old
no
school.
stopping it.
Oh, I mean the jobs kind of suck. Like I don't want to be the bowling alley getter guy while people stand in my way and do shit, or like have to show my butthole on the internet.
Yeah, but what was all the first?
But,
AI
like,
shit?
it's just
it was like AI can write you a song. AI can make you artwork. AI can help you write a story.
It's just
like,
an economic problem. Like, but other than that, it's pretty
that's
tight.
The shit I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Oh man, but there's still six fingers on like the AI stuff or whatever. I don't know.
But that'll
It's
get
like-
better.
Yeah,
those
it
are,
will.
Those are things that,
It
like, in
will.
10 years from now, it's going to be, like, indistinguishable. And I do like it to, like, help me.
I've seen some
So
pretty good ones though.
When you edit stuff, one thing we were talking about is, like, all the work that goes into doing podcasts. We said earlier that all this stuff's homemade. Like, it doesn't happen instantly, and it takes time. But the stuff that sucks is, like, dealing with computers and, like, going through click and drop down and making
Editing.
files compatible. And where, like, I know in my head what I'm trying to do, and it's all this other, like, things I have to learn that get in the way of putting that out there.
Obstacles, bro.
So I want the computer, dude. I want the computer, like, on the Enterprise. Like, computer.
Oh yeah.
Earl Grey, hot. And it just does it,
Y'all
They're
were
printing salmon now. Speaking
what?
of that,
what?
Printing?
they're able to
Get the
print salmon, so it uses all the same
Salmon meat.
salmon meat.
Salmon meat,
Yeah,
not
Yeah,
not
okay,
the
okay.
actual
We're not
animal.
printing
We're
it.
not printing animals here. We're the meat itself, and it's
and it's not even meat.
indistinguishable from the actual,
Indistinguishable.
like flavor-wise and everything.
Whoa.
I mean, it's like Impossible Burgers and stuff, like kind of similar-ish, but maybe
They are
not. I don't know.
printing salmon meat?
Printing 3D
Yeah.
printing. That just sounds wrong.
And I feel like there's a lot
crazy.
more effort doing that where you could just, like, farm a salmon or, like, get it from nature,
Like the
Yeah,
old school
like,
way.
oops, we destroyed the world so salmon can't live. No big deal. We'll just print them out.
God
I don't
damn
feel
it,
like that's the
dude.
same.
But isn't there issues with like the water that the salmon are in and like what that does to them if it's like not the best water? It would.
Well, there's a reason we're working on printing them.
Okay.
This wasn't like
I-
something that's like, yo, you know what'd be dope, dude? Printed salmon. It was like, yo, dog, the salmon are dying fast. We should figure out how to print that shit.
I bet you.
I mean,
That's how you get your peanut allergies.
Trying to bust a nut.
But I'm actually kind of excited about that because it makes it feel more like we're getting closer to the Star Trek where it's like you just say what food you want and just like, here you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I want 3D printers at home to like where if something breaks on like your tripod, like
You could just
you
3D
can
print it
3D
out.
print
Yeah.
the replacement part, and it's like it's
3D
like a
print me a new
microwave,
drum
like
kit,
how
bro.
a microwave is standard in a house, like a 3D printer would be standard in
The
a house.
problem is the quality of the item made by the 3D printer. Like, it's still just like a light plastic.
Yeah.
Like, some people have like other resins involved, or it's like steel infused or carbon infused, but they still haven't gotten to the point where they can like really make a super high quality piece, especially something that's gonna like replace like a machined part. I mean, obviously, if it's like you could probably 3D print something similar to like the top pieces of our stands or equipment that we use, but anything that was like really fine or had to endure some real stress, I feel like you're just not getting it that way.
And also, I
Yeah.
feel like they don't fund that because it would be so empowering. Like, with the goal of a 3D printer would be to make it so well that it can print its own pieces and self-replicate, become like a self-replicating
Oh, that'd be
machine.
cool, yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
as soon as you buy your one, you get your, like, mega investment, and then you print out replacement parts for it. So whatever breaks, you just fix itself. Or, they're talking about these things to, like, build shit on the moon or colonize Mars. Once you get things there, they can start self-replicating and building.
Oh, but they have
More
3D
of
printers.
these.
They do 3D printing houses now.
But you still
But
need
Yeah,
the
no need to hire
material.
anybody
Like,
to
you
do the
still
work.
have to add material to the machine.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't print out of thin air.
Yeah.
But you could build different machines.
Yeah.
Like you would have a suite of things, and I'm imagining this is how like the Matrix computer machine would work. Like it would get to a point where it would have things, but just like the parts that if you can make its own its own replacement thing. Obviously, it needs to be tweaked. But the point I was getting at with the money is, if we were able to have technology like that, it would decentralize the people that own the means of production. You know, but like people that can make that. Where I agree with what you're saying. It's a combination. But I mean, it would be super dope to like, all right, I moved in my house. I never have to buy like a screwdriver or like some basic things again. Like, oh, I need a new lid. I need to fix a door handle. And you just like
putting screwdrivers out of business too, dude.
For real.
Might be a naive.
We won't
like,
have
sort of
jobs
idea.
anymore.
Yeah.
Unless it's like you're gonna be military or whatever. I feel like that's when things are gonna get kind of really screwed up, and things might end up being turned more to shit in a possibility.
Well, the military just be a bunch of people flying drones at each other. They're just
It's somebody in the fucking
You guys
It's
know
like
better
that.
than
Yeah,
any
it's
of
like
us.
our kids logged way more hours on Call of Duty than your kids. We're gonna kick your
we
ass.
may end up with something super badass with like fighting robots in the future. Like that would actually be a pretty cool warfare then. Just like everybody sitting at home, but
The
there's like
war against the androids.
fucking Gundams fighting in space.
Oh my God! Maybe if we can pivot to a new thing, like the drones. That made me think. I was like, I saw the World Games is a thing lately. World Games is kind of like the Olympics, but it's like not like at all. Drone racing,
Drone racing, sick.
Those
Dude.
are sick.
Dude.
Bro. Like you
Seeing
like
that first person view of it.
Yeah, they're like you see them and they're like. Like really heated, and like they got the most like weird obscure other things, like I don't know, like crocodile wrestling or like random other things that you would never imagine.
You know what else is fucking random? Domino's in the UK delivers pizza on jetpacks.
Wait, what?
Have you seen that?
No.
There's like
Straight
a
the fuck
video.
up.
It looks so weird.
Crazy shit.
I
Like
think
a person on a jetpack, like Rocketeer
A
style.
person on a jetpack is
Yeah,
delivered.
like
it's like
fucking
flying pizza.
Mega
dude.
Man.
Bro,
I'll
I
find the
would be
video.
so happy to be a delivery driver if I could get my Rocketeer on, bro. That movie was the shit when I was a kid. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, I
need to pull
forgot
that up.
about that movie.
When I grow up, I
It's
want to
on
be a pizza
YouTube.
delivery man.
Yeah,
you know what though? So
UK's
one of my
ahead
favorite
it.
jobs is delivering pizzas. Just like cruising around the car, listening around tunes,
Been doing that. That was
exploring
my job
stuff.
for a while before I got into like the cannabis like shit.
delivering pizzas.
Just delivering
too.
pizzas for years.
yeah, it's a
dude,
good time.
What
It's actually
franchise
not
do you work
bad.
for?
It's the Charleston Hemp Collective. Like
No, not now. What pizza?
pizza.
What pizza
I
were you
worked.
slinging?
I worked for Domino's.
Damn.
Gilroy's.
Yeah, mostly local stuff in Charleston, like Gilroy's
Okay.
Pizza.
Yeah, you gotta go
shouts
for the
out
small mom and
Paisanos.
pop shop.
Yeah.
Mellow mushroom?
Yeah, we're the good pizza, bro. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Get
did
that little
Domino's
bit
for a
better tip
minute. I
money.
didn't deliver at Domino's
Yeah,
though. I
for
was
real.
at the fucking register, which sucked.
Damn,
So
bro, that's
I-
rough.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you do mellow mushroom at all?
I did.
I did too.
Yeah.
Hey, me too.
Oh,
Yo.
sure.
We look cowabunga dudes.
Yeah, it's a really good.
That place is
pizza
trippy
restaurant.
though.
Me and Matt were on that Papa John's.
Yeah, Papa
Ooh,
John's.
that
Yeah.
Papa
I got
John's.
nothing against
Yo,
them.
Papa John's is delicious.
Dude, I was working in Tarpon Springs. It's near like MLK where the store was. Working late at night. And the guy's cashing me out, man. I got all my cash on the table, and there was like the other girl. It was like the boss, me, and the like, little other delivery girl, and these dudes, 3 dudes bust in wearing vests, had like a weapon drawn. I'm like, well, here we go, we're getting robbed, you know. And the guy's like, put the money down, and I could see they had like little sheriff stars, and he wasn't having a gun. It was like a taser gun. It had like a square. And so they're like, all right, you're coming with us, and I'm just kind of like, all right, just standing there. The girl was like freaking out. She was just like frozen solid crying. And then they just like grab him and leave. And like registers open, and it happened in like 10 seconds. And I'm like, well, what the fuck?
Grabbed who?
And then the guy one of the guys came back in and goes like, you know, his bond's been revoked or something, and we're taking him into custody. And they were bounty hunters.
It
And
was
this
his
dude
boss.
had been in like a car accident, manslaughter type deal, and then just decided he was going to go to work and had his like bail revoked. So then they put out a bounty, and these fucking bounty hunters came in like at the end of the work. So then eventually people
Buck
came in,
around.
but I do remember that was what it was like working at Papa John's. It's not as nice as maybe some other things, but it was exciting.
And now you have that story to tell.
I got that story.
Yeah,
I'll never forget
At least
that.
you weren't robbed.
That's what I thought, because all the money
know-
was out of. Like, of all the times, like, why would you bust in while we're like closing up? You couldn't have waited like 5 minutes and let me go home, because obviously I was like there. And people are crying, and their parents show up and stuff, and it's like, fuck, bro, it was already late.
Why now? That's wild, dude.
Yeah, and then he ran from the police. He like caught him on like the Mexico border. He had like a wife
Making
and
it
kids, and he
worse
was
for
like,
himself,
fuck that.
He got away.
Yeah, no, they caught. He was facing 10 years, and then, but no, yeah, after that they took him in or something, and then he was on the lam.
All right, so what's the amount of jail time that you would have to be given to decide to run away and try to flee? Like, would
Life?
you
Like
would you
10
run,
years- 10
would,
10
would you
Life,
run at 10
dude.
years?
10 years are pretty good. Like now,
Would you run at 10 years, or would you try to stay?
because it's gonna
I'd
change you,
stay.
and you could maybe get in more time too. It's rough.
And if you're a good boy, you might get out early. So I just stay.
It depends. Like,
Dude, with
I feel like that's largely influenced by how old you are.
and how much money you got. Like, if
true,
you got
yeah.
nothing on the outside
true.
just to wait for, it's like, hey, that's retirement, dude. That's 3 square meals, plenty of gym time,
True.
conversations with your homies.
All the
A
sex you could ever
lifelong
want.
vacation.
just
May
live.
not be the kind you want, but
Tight booty hole.
Dude, it would be hard to run for me to run from a cop today, just with the way guns are and stuff. Unless like I knew for a fact they weren't armed, and I knew for a fact I could get away.
I'm not talking like that, dude. I'm not talking like actively running.
Oh,
Like
like,
escaping
okay.
I'm
from
talking.
jail.
Like,
You was
I'm
supposed to
talking
show
like
for a
you're
court date
out
and
on
you don't.
bail.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
you're on bail.
Oh,
you
gotcha.
know,
Like-
but you know the shit's coming.
The lowest of the odds, like traffic ticket, I'll run from the. I'm kidding.
Fuck that. I'll confront their ass on a traffic ticket. I'd be like, how'd you know I was going that fast?
Yeah.
You know?
Did you calibrate the
Come
the
on.
thing
you
with
ca-
the tuning fork?
Seriously.
Yeah. Did you have that
Yeah.
on camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't and they can't prove it, then they typically, even if they write you a ticket, you'll get thrown out.
Yeah, but don't speed.
I usually, whenever I pull over, I jump out of the car immediately, get in their face, ask them what their problem is, pull out my phone, record them.
Oh my god! I thought you were
No.
about to say pull out my gun.
No, I don't.
Pull out my.
Well, the key is when you do pull out your phone to record them, do it fast and jerky, so they don't have time to tell you what to do. You know.
Oh my
Like,
god!
I'm the authority now.
Those are
motherfucker.
professional instructions.
Yeah, and life
my God.
advice.
You guys mentioned
he's
that
frozen.
you did video stuff and skits and all that shit.
Yeah.
So
Check out on our YouTube channel. Our first feature length film was Dumb, Deep Underground Military Base, and the song itself, which we'll play tonight here, the
Okay.
lyrics kind of break down what it's about. A lot of our songs are kind of story songs, like the lyrics tell you what it's about. But
Love it.
we took that opportunity to kind of expand upon our pop-off mythos. It's got like some background stories. It's definitely pretty funny.
Dude, I mean, deep underground military base. Dude, yeah. What about those? Like, tell me some of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll hear him.
Just
tonight.
you'll have to
We-
check
we-
it out.
go
Go
check
search
out-
it up after this.
Check out the video. on
It's like
well,
7.5 minutes or something like that.
Well, first, everyone should go to YouTube. Check out our podcast featuring the
Please, please
gods.
check it out.
Go there.
Also,
smash it.
You're
check
now
out
you're
Biracial
listening to
Brothers.
it.
Start with that.
Oh yeah.
And then there's 30 some odd other episodes, and then our personal work as the Pop-Off with music videos, the short film that we've done, and some of our other works out there. So-
But the music videos too, like we all have characters in them. You'll see, like there's, and anybody that's watched this show before, we've got like the funny glasses and
it's the same thing we
same
perform.
outfits.
Like it's like a character that we're
Like if
putting
you're
on.
into the music, we fleshed it out a little bit more for you. There's a
I'm
lot of
starting to
lot there
understand
gain in.
like the vibe
Dude,
of it all.
it reminds me of like this thing that Deslin and I are like trying to start in an incept. Like, so we like have made like some skits, and we've got plenty of ideas for skits and stuff. And like that group is called Biracial Brothers. Like we've got a placeholder on Instagram and stuff, but like almost bringing like tying somewhat like something like entertainment wise into the music is like what y'all are kind of like y'all already have been doing.
Yeah, and bands
That's sick.
that we like, Rush, Tool, they're very much into like they give. There's more than just like the music on the surface level. There's things you can
Yeah.
get into, and we got like inside jokes and
Okay.
things like if you're a fan that there's more to it. And that's also why, we like the podcast. Some people spend a lot of time and it gives them a chance to talk about the music and get into that. Our buddy Soul, like that band who we play with them a few times, they've used some of our stuff and brought on like clowns and other stage performances because they've got like really heady type of music as well. And Yeah, and it's also out of respect for the customer, for the fans that are watching this. You know, we do spend the time to, you know, Matt's got his drum kit all wrapped up and looking sweet, and you know, eventually after like years, we finally like got a drum head cover, you know, that has the band logo on it. And when we do talk to fans, they say, you know, it's not lost. Like if they were digging it, you know, it shows it's you know, appreciation for them. And
well, we want to be
Stoked to see you
memorable
guys
too.
play.
Like when people see us, it's like, oh, I've heard these guys before. Like I know it's coming because we have such a unique sound. So like, but yeah, every time you see us play, dude, it's like we're like in outfit, have the glasses on, like everything's black and white.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, it's how we do the
definitely
pop-off
different.
show.
Yeah, because we're instrumental, we want to leave like, you know, people remembering our performance too. So like, we're trying to think of things and ways, like honestly.
Yeah, we just.
Oh, I think
it's
of like the
step by
old
step.
school bands, like the 50s and 60s. You'd see them like going in like their like sequence jackets and shit. They'd all be like matching. They're all like 4-piece, you know, group, and it's just like, damn, dude, like there really was something to that, like having your uniform when you're up there
Yeah.
playing. And then it helps people like recognize you when you're in the crowd. Like every time we're doing, like, oh, you're the drummer for the Popoff. Or like back in the day when we just wore like street clothes, forget about it.
Yep.
yeah, like I've seen him before. And then also
Bless
too,
you.
you know,
Yeah,
we've
bless
been
you.
open. We always change our logos and stuff, and it's like we're just kind of try different things out, you know, or don't get too set on something. But
Yeah, trial and error.
True.
Willingness to adapt, dude. That's really what it's about. But speaking of doing pop-off
Oh,
shows,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
about that
It's
time. dude.
about
We
that
got-
time.
We're getting out to Hooch and Hive.
Hell yeah.
Getting ready to play together. You'll get to see us perform live. We'll get to watch more of your stuff. Obviously, we
Yeah, I'm
already
stoked
saw.
to
I'm
see
eager
you
to see y'all.
guys.
I'm
Yeah.
very eager to see y'all.
How long are you
And
guys
we're gonna-
doing tonight? How much you playing?
Like 7-8 songs, right?
Hell
Who
yeah.
knows? Maybe
Oh,
something like
alright.
30,
3 of them already,
35,
so-
whatever makes sense.
Cool.
We could technically play up to an hour, but you know, probably just more like in between 30 or 40. Who knows?
And
How
then-
long are y'all? How long is y'all set
I
again?
think we're doing like 25, 30. We
Okay.
invited some extra people on, so we kind of condensed our set down just to make sure.
you know,
everyone's
and
got time to
and
play.
we just got a little bit
Yeah.
of time. Let's go into this a little bit deeper. We're playing the Pop-Off Fest,
Fuck
Volume 1, and this is something that anybody that's watched the show, we've talked about this a lot. And it's all the bands playing tonight. We're opening up with Colin Girding and the Chase, who's been on the show. All of us been on the show. Then it's going to be the Pop-Off. Then we're having Baby Chimps. Then we got these guys here headlining all the way down from South Carolina to play. And then our good friends Seven Stone are going to close us out. In addition, though, we've got a featured artist. Gwyneth Schumacher is going to be doing some of her surrealist art and having that with the merch. And, you know, we're trying to do these events now where, and, you know, anybody that's been a part of the podcast or has come on has been open. So that way also you as like the fan can do your own research. If you like us live or you like what we've been doing, you want to decide to come to a show, you know, you'll see a bunch of bands that you're already familiar with. You'll have your favorite songs. And, you know, obviously this is a new thing that we tried here, this long form. Hopefully some people listen to it and, you know, also maybe feel like you're a little bit better friends with us. And I hope that you come to a show because that's really what it's about. You know, come to these live
support.
things.
So definitely
They're helping us
support.
on the
Don't bite.
inaugural show. It should be a good one. And there'll be more in the future, I'm sure.
It's important to come out too, because it's kind of weird playing music when nobody's there.
Very true.
We drove all this way. Please come.
Check us out on Instagram @GodsTheBand. Facebook, same. GodsTheBand.com for merchandise. We got Bandcamp, YouTube. We got 2 music videos out right now. One for a song called Sunburn. Another one for a song called Voodoo. The album's dropping November 29th into this month. It's called Alchemy. Out on all streaming platforms. All right, y'all.
The best is yet to come.
And the Pursuit of Sound, something I think
Pursuit
you
of
guys are going to
Sound.
see in addition. We're probably going to be guest starring on his. You know, we can do, I think, remotely once you
Yep.
get
Yeah,
back up
very
there.
soon.
I wouldn't be surprised if RJ jumps in on that podcast
so.
too. So
I'll
if
see
you
all
want to
y'all.
hear, and I know we got some great alien stories.
Oh,
and
so good.
some pretty good stuff too. So
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we covered some cool like alien shit on this episode actually.
We wanted to go broad with
Yeah,
it. Since
I like
this is our
that.
first long form, we
That's the-
kind of, you know.
We got
One of my favorite topics.
Yeah, when we're on the road, we listen to like weird shit like that on like other podcasts. So it's very cool to like be on a podcast talking about that shit. It's really interesting.
Coast to Coast. That you listen to that one when you're driving around.
This dude's the podcast guru. He
I've
knows all
heard
of them.
more about Coast to Coast
that's
than
like
I have
I
listened.
don't even. Yeah, I think that's past its time, but
It's,
I know
it's
you're talking
older.
about.
I used to listen to that when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's
like-
that was like the one show.
Yeah. Came on at like midnight on the radio. Just like, all right, let me get.
Well, final shout out to the sponsors.
Oh,
Yep.
Thank you,
Yep.
High Rise.
High Rise, Charleston Hymn Collective.
Yeah. Seriously, thanks for letting us take this product on the road with us.
Got me feeling good right now.
Yeah, it is about 4:20 Eastern here, so I guess we'll wrap it up.
Thanks for watching.
All right, everybody.
Peace.
See ya.